Now, the fact I'm even doing this video is absolutely stupid. You're going to see shortly what I'm talking about. Now, it's about an 11-minute introduction, so sit tight because drama unfolds. Now, a little under a decade ago, stupid shit happened. I got caught up in it, and I got arrested. I'm going to tell you the story shortly. But there's a bender out there that wants to put my mugshot in his videos like a little girl. And I have something really cool called this really cutthroat lawyer. And there's these words out there called slander, defamation, intentional infliction of emotional distress. There's malicious prosecution, invasion of privacy, fraud, tortious interference, just to name a few. And so if this continues, it's going to be a legal battle. So it's going to be interesting. So just one big thing to remember is everyone has skeletons in their closet. So don't throw stones when you live in a glass house because there's some fun stuff out there. Let's get to the video and let's see what you guys think. Feel free to comment below and do your own research because this is quite interesting. And this is the only time I'm going to touch on this subject because one, it's nobody's business. It's not your business. It's not my mother's business. It's not my family's business. It's not Alameda Holster's business. It's zero business. So the fact that you're taking my mugshot from 8 years ago from a stupid, pretty much a misunderstanding, and we know how the media likes to do stuff, is quite sad, pathetic, and it shows your character. So let's hope it doesn't continue because there's going to be some legal repercussions because of it. So let's get to the video. What's up, guys? Iggy here with Faltech Unlimited. Hey, it has come to my attention that there is another YouTuber out there who I've never really spoken to before, never heard of until I started YouTube, but he loves to bash me and my channel. And one of the things he does is he likes to put my mugshot on his YouTube channel, either in the background or whatever, and he talks about me being a woman beater and this and that. So let me tell you the story because knowledge is power, and this guy is an absolute moron. I don't even know his name. That's how important he is to me. So about a decade ago, I came to get my daughter, and her mother is, as soon as the baby came out, night and day. Fellas, you're going to agree with this. Turned into a psycho. She refused to give me her. We got in an argument. I walked up a flight of stairs to continue the conversation, and she pushed me at the top of the stairs. So as I was falling back, I reached out to the closest thing there, which happened to be her arm. The railing was a little bit further. And so I caught on her arm, pulled myself up, regained balance, and I left. I want nothing to do with this. Shortly after that, I get a call from the police department saying there's a bolo out for my arrest for domestic violence. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I thought it was someone playing a joke on me. So I got arrested for grabbing her arm after she pushed me. So went to court, did our thing. I got a restraining order. No big deal. Restraining orders are temporary. So I held a Class 3 FFL at that time. And I did holsters, and I attend gun shows for extra income. So I went to a gun show in Kennebuck, Maine, and someone put a shotgun on my table. And if you rent the table, you're in possession of the items on your table. So I grabbed the shotgun off the table, and I put it on another table, telling my coworker, listen, I can't have this here. I'm going to put it over here. An officer heard me say that, well, which is mistake number one. I said it out loud. And he's like, how come he can't have it? So he took my business card and he ran a check through his system in Maine. There was nothing. And then he ran it in New Hampshire and he saw that I had an active restraining order on me. And because I picked up a gun and moved it into another table to stay in compliance, I was arrested for possession of a firearm at a gun show. Now, the media, we know how awesome the media is. Man barred from possessing firearm, arrested at a gun show. Yeah, but what they didn't know, I was a dealer. I wasn't selling the guns. I wasn't purchasing the guns. I was selling holsters. So I spent 3 days in Kennebunk County Jail. And again, this was almost a decade ago. And I got out and I fought the charges. Fought. I went up there 3 or 4 times. Now, let me mind you, this is 5 hours from my house. So I had to take those days off from work, drive 5 hours, sit in court, come back, and do my thing. It got tiring. So I chatted with my lawyer, and it was a Class E misdemeanor. It does nothing to hurt you for owning a firearm. So I told my lawyer, I said, listen, it is not worth me coming up and taking the day off work and stopping this and stopping that, wear and tear on my vehicle and the mileage. I'm not doing it anymore. So I took the charge. It was a $300 fine, which is far less than what I was paying for gas up there and missing a day's work doing what I was doing, building electronic weapon systems for the Department of Defense. So that's that story. And that's why this gentleman is saying I'm a woman beater and you're buying from someone who's been to jail, this and that. Listen, everybody's got skeletons in their closets, and whoever this guy is, I guarantee there's something messed up with him too. So, but we're not going to get into that because I'm above that. So I figured, why not? That is why there's that on the internet. Is it still holding today? No. So, and let me explain this, because I've answered it in comments, and whenever I see a comment, I'll answer it. If I don't see it, I can't answer it, right? So there's a reason why I use these instead of using this, right? And the reason is simple. I can cut things off of molds. I can add things onto molds. If this mics out exactly the same as this, guess what? I'm going to use it because I rather damage this than this. So that being said, that's what I do, and that's the reason why I don't show firearms on this channel. Another reason why I don't show firearms on this channel is if you have a channel like mine, you are being watched meticulously because they don't want anything firearm related on this platform. Even sometimes showing these, I get ad suitability strikes, which means I can't get monetized for that video, which means I don't get paid for it. Now, I quit my job 5 years ago. I do this full time. Kydex holsters is literally how I put food in my kids' mouths and clothes on their back and a roof over their head. Holsters is what I do. So if I don't get paid for a video, what's the point of adding the videos? So the reason why I, again, use these, and I fight every time, I fight the decision every time they have ad suitability, because if I don't get monetized for that video, I don't get an income. And with no 9-to-5 job, this is everything it is. So YouTube to me is a business adventure or a business venture. Now, this is the reason why I use these. It's personal preference. Plus, I'm not going to go ahead. I'm not buying this 19. I'm not buying this 226. I'm not going out and buying every single gun and make a holster off it. If these check out good, why? They check out perfect. So it's like having a clone, a mold in the shop. So that being said, there's 1,000 ways to skin a cat. The way I do these videos and the way I make these holsters is for a simple reason. When I started doing Kydex almost a decade ago, I didn't find any good video on how to do it. So I learned the craft, I perfected the craft, and in my opinion, and then I started doing videos on how I do it. Can you use 2 layers of tape on this? Yeah, of course. Can you use 5 layers? Yeah, of course. The thicker it is, the more room you have inside, so you're not going to get better slide wear. So there's pros and cons to everything, but the reason why I do it the way I do it is because I found it to be the easiest, and I'm giving you guys that knowledge, because if you're not a part of the Benders page on Facebook, there is a very large community of people that help themselves. Hey, I need a holster for this. Hey, I need a holster for this. Okay, well, tell you what, I will send you a form, and you finish the holster so it looks perfect. Technically, you didn't make it, but pass it out as your own. I want nothing to do with it. I will give them a shell. I've actually had people say that they want to make a holster, but they can't get a mold, and I have the mold. You know what I do? I send them the mold with a return slip and let them borrow it for a week, and then it comes back to me. I've done that before. So I don't know why the hate. It's 2025. There's no need to look down on anybody for something stupid that happened in the past. So if you're watching this and you happen to support his other channel, have at it. But if you don't have all the facts, don't open your mouth. It's that simple. That's how I was raised. Clearly, that's not how he was raised. So that being said, this video right here is probably not going to get monetized for showing this guy, and so be it. Once you get 3 strikes, they delete the video, and once you get 3 deletes or whatever the number is, they delete your channel. This is a mode of income, so this is why I do it the way I do it and show you what I show you. So again, I'll answer any questions in the comments, but there's no need to stoop as low as Alameda Holsters, whatever his name is, because I live rent-free in his head and I don't understand it. That being said, I have an order here for a SIG P226 with a TLR10. That is a massive light. Check out the size of that thing. So I'm going to go ahead. We're going to make a pancake-style holster with 175 loops that I've already cut and polished, so they look pretty good. And this one is going to be a little different. He has a compensator, so we're going to have to cut the edge of it off so his compensator can stick through. And then this is the blocking I have. I'll actually show you where I got this. But he has a SIG takedown lever, which means I have to block this pretty large to get that to be covered. So I'm going to show you how I do that. And, oh, another thing. Blue tape pour, that's where it came from, was his channel, because I use a lot of tape. Now, if you use a Henry Swift press, when you pull a vacuum, there's not a lot of force, not a lot of pressure. If you have a motorcycle jack that does 600, 700 pounds of pressure, things are going to move, which is the reason why I really need to anchor it down. Now, for future reference, if you watch the video that we're talking about, he uses this tape. If you notice, there's ink on this tape. If you use this tape on light colored Kydex, white, yellow, pink, whatever, this writing transfers inside your holster. You don't see it on dark colors because it's faint and you won't see it. It's the same exact for sublimation. You can't sublimate black on black. You will barely see it. So don't use this tape. This is the Sharp Lines multi-surface tape from Blue Tape from Scotch, whatever. And so 3M, don't use this for making holsters unless you put another one over it because the ink transfers. So I'll just throw that out there because you don't want to do it. You'll ruin your stuff. You ruin the holster, you ruin the material, you'll waste your time, you'll waste your money, and then you'll have to do it again. So it's the reason why I don't use it. But let's build. I just realized the time and it's getting close to dinner, so I have to not hurry up on this, but let's get this blocked, and then I gotta go in and cook because I'm the one that cooks. So I got the 5 layers on here. I got the suppressor height sight put on there. I use a cut piece of dime to create the channel for the screw. I'll hold that on there with a single piece. And then what I found works pretty good is I'll take the widest tape that I have and I'll throw it in the center. Oh, wow, Jesus, there we go. And that's going to add a little bit more room in the holster, and it's not going to bind up on anything. So it's pretty good. I'll do 2 or 3 layers right here. Let's just do one more. And like I said, it's going to thicken up the area where the light is in the decks. I'll help you out a little bit. All right, so we have our controls. I shaved this one off so it's flat. These ones I actually shaved so it's flat as well. I'm not sure if you can see that. This is, if you go into a file cabinet and the part that the dividers sit on, this is what this is. This is a piece of steel. It's an 1/8 inch thick. And yeah, it's steel, but it's the perfect thickness for this. So this is going to come out, and I'll put some stuff underneath it here. So that's going to sit just like that. So what I need to do, or what I'm going to do, is I'm going to not do that one. We're going to put this one here because we want it to line up with that. Now, because these grips are thick, it's going to be kind of wider at the mouth, which it is what it is. The only other way to get around that is cut this section out, which I've done before, but I don't feel like replacing this mold because it's super popular. All right, so we'll get that on there, and then just tape that in place. And then the other way is to get a vac mold, but I'm never going to get a call for a 226 with this light again, so I'm probably not going to invest in it. So, and I'm just going to put this here so it doesn't fold on us. All right. Over, and then this, I'm going to go sideways. So when you're doing a light bearing, 9 out of 10 times the retention is going to be right behind the light. And if I do this right here, you don't want to cover that up. I don't want to do it this way. I don't want a lot of the body covered. Now, this light, there's a lot of body on this light, so you don't have to worry about it. But I'm going to stick this right about there, pretty much flush with the bottom of the light, and then enough so the kydex can get pushed down in there. Now, I'm not sure if you can hear my ovens going, but they are clicking because the ovens are on, the heat elements are on, and the foam is warming up. So there we go. Oh, perfect. And there's a plane change right there. So let's do this real quick. Throw that there. Throw that there. Good to go. I'll take this. Make sure it's parallel to the frame. And then come over and get that in there, like so. Now this is going to be a pancake style, so I don't have to block for any, belt attachments or anything like that. So, and it's using the loops, so that'll be pretty good. So that's pretty good as it is. I'm going to go ahead, and you're going to want to put tape around the back of this too. And what this does is it'll actually stop the kydex from going underneath the blocking, and it won't pull it off or get stuck or anything like that. So there's that there, and I want to add another piece right here. Just line that up. Now if you cover your retention point, that's fine. Just, this is what I do. There, now you're good. And just put that down. So there's that, and that looks pretty good. All right, so now we have to block that. We have to block right here. That's why I was waiting for this to come down here. That's why I was waiting. You can't put light blocking widgets on before you do other stuff because the light blocking has to be in there. It's the main body. So what you want to do is, before you even think about the belt attachment, is you want to get everything else blocked off. You'll have to take the controls in consideration and the light. If you have a light, you need to do that first before you do anything else, because your blocking for the light is going to move. Like originally I'd put this down a little bit more, but with my blocking there, I'm going to move it up. Now that's going to be perfectly fine. So I'm going to get a couple pieces and just lay it right here, and then that's going to lay flat, and it'll be good. I just got to find the right piece to do that. So I'll try this. That might be too large, way too large. So I just got to go smaller. No, it's no big deal. Just get the right piece or pieces and get it in there. So let's try. Yeah, those are the same size. Yeah, bada bing. And then what I'll do is I'll put something under here so it doesn't flip that way. I'll hide those. There we go. Let's go down further. It's fine. All right. And then, oh, that's that was big. Let's see here. Actually, I like the fact that that's looking like that. That's a little bit more blocking. So what I'm going to do is pull that down towards the light blocking and then put that on there. Same thing right here. Make sure this all stays in place. I'll take my thick stuff, get into the crevices, and then fold it over. And there we go. Now we don't want the kydex or the blocking that's holding that up to fall out. So I take a piece right here and do that. Now you can use Double-sided tape. I use double-sided tape a lot. I have it right here. Do you have to use it? No. Is there a benefit to it? Yeah, but not in every case, because sometimes it just won't hold. So again, anyways, just getting a cat, and if you get upset over it, you have a serious issue. So right there is shit. We're pretty much good. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have to make a plate for it. Now, because this is gonna have loops, the plate is different, and unfortunately what I use is that right there. So I'm gonna have to get another one of those. What do you know? I got it right here. So I'll get another one of these. I'll show you what I mean by that. When I make the retention plate, I put this right here. So my retention plate is literally, what is this, 3/4 of an inch? Yeah, 3/4 of an inch thick. That way it's not super wide, and I bend it right after it for the loops. So that's how that is looking. So I wanna add another piece right here. There we go. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'll cut that piece. All right, so I've cut my Kydex. This guy is on, looking good. I'm gonna have no issues with it. And this is, I like it. So this is my trick for doing a pancake. The bottom, about 3 inches on each side, right? So this is gonna be the side towards your body. Now on the top side, make it considerably longer, so you could take it and like hold it on the sides, and then like hold it on the foam and get it down there and hold it. Now what happens sometimes, if you have more pressure on the top than you have on the bottom, it'll actually, the top will fold under and then get squished there, and then your holster looks like crap. And there's no way around it because it stretches. So what I found to combat that is take a longer piece for the top and really stretch it out and hold it onto the foam. And then when you get your foam down in there, hold it while you're putting your thing down, your press down. So bottom, top one is bigger. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw them in the press. Luckily my new press, I can fit both these at the same time. And then I'll get it in there. Then I gotta go in and cook. All right, we are in the press. I have a brand new foam in this one. So this one is nice and squishy to the touch. If you heat up your foam, it'll bring your definition to the next level. And then we got both material in here. Once they hit, this one I'll probably do about 374 because I got a little bit, like a 1/2 inch gap to go from the light blocking down into the light. So I'm gonna wait for that to hit that. We got a minute left. It might take a minute and a half to do. And then we got these guys on here warming up. And then after this, I have a couple more holsters to build. Then I'm going to call it a night because I got to deliver them to the store tomorrow. I got 2 stores I'm delivering to. And then continuing with this. So, but I have a lot of plans for this shop this year. I ended up getting graph paper and stuff so I could figure out how I want to rearrange and build more benches. And I'm having an issue too. My CNC stopped working. I think my stepper motor for the Z-axis died. So I have it taken apart, and I'm talking with NextWave right now. So let's hope everything goes well. But anyways, we'll see that when it comes out of the press, which means it'll be after like 7 because it's 6:40 now, and I got kids to feed and dogs to feed and all that fun stuff. So as soon as it comes out, you'll see it. All right, well, we are out of the press, and it looks pretty good, actually. So here is the side right there with the SIG Go Gun gas pedal, or whoever makes it, but the gas pedal. And then here is this side right here. Now, we did have something happen that I didn't want to happen. See that fold over right there? Yeah. But here's the best part. That fold over, we're cutting it right here and right under that. So we're not going to see it. Perfect. So, and that obviously, I didn't pull tight enough when I put it in the press. Not to mention, this is very thick boy right here. But I pulled out the 220 blue gun, which is the same as the 226 profile wise, and I can go ahead and trace out where I want it. So let's reposition the camera and let's do that. And that was the fun part of figuring out where we're going to put everything. No big deal right here. We're going to line this up and grab it. So you need room for the knuckle. So we're going to be right around this area right here. And what I'm going to do is I'll hover that above it in the same spot. And then I'll just put, hey, trigger guards right there. All right. Yep, happy with that. And then I know we're going to come across, and this is going to come down like so. So we're going to come down, and then it's going to change the angle and go like that. Then we're going to take our contour gauge, which is over, you get it at Home Depot for pretty cheap. And where I marked that line right below your knuckle, we're going to go perpendicular to the slide. And just draw that out and then extend those lines so you know what to do. And this is going to be coming down. Like so, and then about halfway up the frame, or the grip, we'll do that. So it'll be just like that. Now this is getting these guys. So my master will work perfect for this. Bada bing, there you go. And this will also fit the pancake wings and multi-mold wings along with speed clips. So what you can do is put these up and you'll make sure they're right where you want them. And draw that line and the bottom mount. There we go. Draw the line, bottom mount. So now we can put this on there. And we know, hey, there's the top line, or the top hole, bottom hole. And then we could add one more if we wanted to. Mainly because it's a TLR10 is a long boy. We don't necessarily have to add it on this side. That's total preference for you. So I can go ahead and do this so you can see it. Now the reason why I'm not going to do that is because this is going to get cut. So generally I'll come down here, continue this down, and then this is going to straight across like so. And this will come down and over like that, but we have to cut this. So we're going to cut this and we're going to go straight and bend it right there and then come on down like so. And after we have that mapped out, I went ahead and marked the placements of the retention screws. This looks like it may be a little much, but it may be perfect. We'll adjust that after the fact, after we get the wings bent. For now, I'm going to take this and attach it with these clamps. Then I'll drill it with the quarter. So I just drilled and cleaned. If you notice, I did not drill our retention points yet. So what I'm going to do is, I like to remove the this first. Technically, I don't have to because I just burn them after, so I could destroy them if I wanted to. But usually what I'll do is I'll go get a eyelet, put the eyelet in here, and then do this. But you know what? We're here. Let's just do it. A little bit of a mess, but that's okay. Extra cleanup. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, this is very easy. You notice I didn't separate it first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on the bandsaw and I'm going to cut the outer shape right here. Pretty much where the kydex is touching, I'm going to cut the shape out of and cut close to this. So there's the silhouette of the finished holster, well, mostly finished. And then we're going to go ahead and I'll show you that I split it using a flathead screwdriver because with the amount of force that these put together, sometimes I can't even separate them that way. They're fused. So what I have to do is get something in between and kind of pry it. So let me cut this out and I'll show you exactly what I mean. And this is what I mean by saying I cut it to a rough shape. Then I'll take this, place it in here and just push. It separates it. Lift, push, lift, push. And I'll follow it down until it splits, and then I can safely do this. Now, if you notice, I'm only splitting this end. Now I could go in and throw the eyelets on this end. So I'm going to put the eyelets in, then I'll go ahead and put the retention hardware in, and then from there I'll go ahead and put these eyelets in, and then I'll finish this cut right here, and I'll go ahead and do this cut between the bandsaw and the scroll saw. And for that, I'm actually going to take everything apart and use this as I need it. So I'll go ahead, set the eyelets, and we'll move on to the next step. And here we are, went ahead, added the hardware, added the eyelets on both sides. Now I'm going to go ahead, I'm just going to cut this flush. This is going to be on the bandsaw, or the scroll saw, and I'm going to go ahead and shape this right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut on the outside of the line, just to get the grip out. I'll go as close here as possible, and then I'm going to dial it in on the scroll with this so it matches right here, and we don't hit ourselves on it. But until then, I'm going to cut this up, and then we'll see how it fits. And here we are with the rough cut. The wings are going to be bent. It's all good. It's a wide firearm as it sits. A little too much retention, but it fits freaking awesome. I'm going to have to trim a little bit of this. No big deal. I'm going to trim it on both sides. I don't need to trim it on this side, but I'm going to, so it's even. Open bottom for compensator. Light looks good. And then, yeah, I am liking this. So I'm going to go ahead. I'll clean up all the edges. I'm going to shave a little bit more of this off on the scroll. And then I'm going to go ahead, hit it on the belt sander, clean it all up, and then we'll bend it. And then out the door it goes. This is going actually to Hometown. This is a store order for a customer. So let's get this all set up and looking pretty. And here we are. Not cleaned. I thought I cleaned it. All right. Get inside, get outside. Give it a nice rub down. And I like to get inside. Make sure that all the crevices inside, like right in the sight channel and right down in here, will like to hold dust, debris, dirt, what have you. So get it there nice and good. And then I'll take my nozzle and spray that in there as well. So now I'm going to go ahead, take the gun. I'm going to heat these up with the heat gun while this is in the vise, and then bend them. When you're bending the top side, when you heat this up, it's going to want to expand. So press the slide, or press the kydex against the slide so it doesn't expand, and then heat it up, bend it, and then hit it till it cools, and then it won't deform on you. Because generally, if you bend the wings without squeezing this, you're going to lose some retention, and the gun can wiggle on you. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and we'll see how it looks right after. Then we got to mount these guys. So, and then set up for the next one. And from here, it's very, very easy. A little bit of schmutz. There we go. All right, we're going to add the 175 loops. Get those on there. So this is 1/4 inch, and these are 1/4 inch. Another quarter, and the screws are 1/2 inch. Go ahead. Put some Loctite. Make sure we got the angle towards the body of the holster. Do not tighten all the way. Just get the threads going. And then position and tighten and rinse and repeat for the other side. My Buff Magic Blue Juice, and it looks like that's it. Outside the waistband, pancake style, with light, massive TLR 10, for a SIG 226. All right. Can't forget, had the massive takedown, which you can see clears it right there. Perfect. This holster, it came out great. It fits on my side pretty well. And this is I forgot whose mold it is. This is a holster mold. Holster mold. I forgot who it was, but it's not a Pale Horse, obviously. It's not a multi-mold. It's someone else that they were the only option at the time that had the 226. And it's been holding up very well. So this is going to get boxed up, and I'm delivering it tomorrow to a buddy for his store. So I do the holsters for their store. That being said, I hope you learned a trick or two on doing pancake style light bearing. I know it's scary to do as a beginner. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but the more you do it, the more you get used to it, and you'll start seeing where to put retention, how to adjust it. And the hardest part is with light bearing holsters, you can get a rock, as in it's gonna rock inside. You don't want that to happen, and you'll learn how to do that. Generally, mount this back up then. Generally, when you have a rock in the holster, the top of the slide to the bottom of the light, there's a gap in there, and that gap does this. Now, with this being such a massive light, there's a lot of surface area right there, so there was no wiggle in that holster. So that's something you need to know. More of a gap, the more of the wiggle you have. A lot of times what you can do is what I've done before is put the blocking back in and then reheat right on the side of the side channel, and then you could put it down on closer to the slide, and that'll stop that. But if you go too close, it's going to be tight and not work well. So that's a good idea to have the real steel on hand or the customer available to check it out, because you could always heat it up and adjust it right then and there with them and whatnot. So this is going to a gun store. They have all this stuff there, so we could verify. So on that note, I hope you guys learned a trick or two, and definitely the biggest thing to take from this video is there's more ways than one to skin a cat, and there's no need to put people down because they do it differently than how you're doing it. You're not the best at what you do. It happens. Do I claim to be the best? No. Am I upfront and forward about everything? Yeah. You know the reasons why I do it. You know, or how I do this stuff. And to Alameda Holsters, good luck in your future endeavors. I don't wish any ill on you. You're a piece of crap, but have fun. I don't wish any ill on you. So enjoy making holsters. You make a good product. I've seen them on your website. I've never seen one in person, so by the looks of it, they look good. So I don't know why you'd bash someone in the same industry, since a lot of us help each other. I'm not a threat to you because we're not even the same demographic, although I do have holsters in Texas. Is it jealousy? Is it because I have more subscribers, more views, more videos, more engaging content? I don't know what your problem is, but I can't figure it out. And I live rent-free in your head, and that's a you problem because I don't care. So on that note, thank you guys for watching and making it this far. If you see his video, feel free to leave comments about how you feel, because there's one thing that I learned growing up is you never, like out or reprimand someone in public what you can do in private. And I have zero respect for the guy over at Alameda. Don't even know his name, and that's how well it is, because he knows mine. I'll see you guys in the next one. I got a lot to do, no time to do it. Talk to you later. Keep moving forward. Love you. Bye.